Hello, anime lovers. Welcome back to our anime huddle. And today we are going to be explaining episode 71 Guides of Attack on Titan. So get ready because this episode was crazy, to say the least.
I feel like it's getting a little bit redundant, to just keep saying that every single episode is amazing. But that's just the truth of the matter. Every single episode so far has been mind blowing. They just keep, setting up to this huge thing. And it's just, I am so excited every Sunday. I
Not,
always look forward.
yeah, me too. Honestly, not just Hajime Isayama for doing such an awesome story, but Mappa has been doing a great job at adapting everything. I mean, the pacing is very good. It's not like
Yeah.
God of High School.
Yeah, no, that was bad.
No, and the music, the score is just phenomenal.
It
The
is.
opening, the ending are just so
Every
good.
single element just keeps building onto the hype. And talking about this episode, um, I think one of the highlights of this episode is, at least on the first half of this episode, is the civil unrest that we keep seeing. Protesters having distrust in the military due to the lack of information. We saw this in the previous episode, and we talked about it. How we understand that the journalists are trying to do their job, but you know, it's just almost insane to think that even though the military is trying their best to protect everyone, now the civilians are the ones turning on them just because the Jaegerist, as we learned in this episode, leaked information about Eren being detained. And I mean, the military only did it just because, they wanted to be, I guess, how they say it, it's better to be safe than sorry. They wanted to know what was Eren's plan because he just went off road. Yeah, he didn't tell anyone what he was doing, and he just went to Marley and he's like, "Hey, hope you guys follow my lead." And I mean, they were kind of forced to. So
Yeah, I mean, Eren is an integral part of their plan. If they're going to head, they are trying to make their way into all of these first world countries. I mean, we said it before, they are a third world country. They're barely learning how to do diplomacy with other countries.
yeah, exactly. And, I think that we come back to the theme of the spread of propaganda in this case. Because I was thinking, okay, it's true that the Jaegerist leaked information about Aaron being detained, but I feel like they only leaked enough information that kind of helped their agenda. You know, uh, of course, the Jaegerists are not going to be happy about Aaron being detained, and I mean, I guess the missing puzzle piece for the general public to know why he was detained in the first place is for them to actually know that Aaron, went off on his own, and the only thing that the military is trying to do is to find out why exactly did Aaron go off on his own, and what is he planning to do next. But of course, I mean, they leave off information when they leak the information, and now we get this, civil unrest against the military.
Yeah, because if the military had gone and told the public that Eren had acted on his own accord, that's why they went and attacked Marley. I mean, it would have all gone back to the question when Eren was first detained, when he became a Titan at first. Are Eren's Titan powers going to help Paradise Island, or is it going to be its downfall? So we're seeing
Yeah,
all of these themes that were previously mentioned coming back.
yeah, exactly. And because of this, because of the civil unrest, and because of the fact that everybody wants to know what's going on in Aaron's head, what's his plan. Of course, we get the moment where Mikasa and Armin go to Premier Zachary to try to convince him to give them permission to try to talk to Aaron, because apparently, it's a very restricted who can go and try to gain information off of Aaron. And basically, what Armin and Mikasa want to do is just basically know what his plans fundamentally are. Everybody is kind of in the dark in this episode. But of course, they get denied. Zachary quoting that, it was a delicate situation, and, they want to make sure that Zeke isn't influencing Aaron. However, a few moments later, Armin and Mikasa leave his office and a bomb goes off, killing Premier Zachary and I believe three other soldiers. Then we get one of the most disturbing Sasageyos I have ever heard in Attack on Titan.
It was so unsettling.
Yes, exact. Oh my god, like it was so well done, but it made my stomach like feel queasy and weird. I mean, I understand that the protesters believe that the military are the ones that are getting in the way from, Aaron saving them from Marley and the rest of the world. However, it's the lack of information that I guess us as an audience know that makes this scene very unsettling. Them seeing the general basically be blown to chunks and
And
everybody
right
just,
in front of them, right in front of him. Like,
yeah, exactly, and then being riled up because of that. Insane. We see journalists, handing out newspapers. One of the headlines being distrust in the military source hire. So we definitely saw the turmoil that Paradise Island is facing now.
yeah, so knowledge is power here. And Pixies is trying to understand what is going on. So he starts having a talk with Yelena, and he finds out that Yelena met up with Eren and influenced him to go ahead and go rogue and start taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, so I think that Yelena is like a little bit crazy. We got like a little bit of those like eye and perspective shots, like I don't know, like I feel like she's literally about to go berserk any moment now and kind of like reveal what her true intentions are. It's kind of weird, but I have a feeling about
Yeah,
it.
it's like she's trying really hard to hold in everything she knows. Because, I mean, like, as we know, Attack on Titan is just gonna reveal not only one thing, but once the reveal comes, it's just gonna reveal everything.
Yeah.
And basically, everything is going to change.
Yeah, so that begs the question, do you think that Yelena is the one that is actually putting basically all the strings behind the scene? Or in this case, I mean, she is a follower of Zeke. So do you think that Zeke is the one basically puppeteering every single one of the events here?
I honestly think yes, because not
Ah,
only, I mean, he is their connection, Paradis's connection to the rest of the world.
true.
He got Asumabito to go ahead and work with Paradis. He is the key to everything working as well.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I mean, even for the rumbling, they need Zeke. And I mean, the fact that even Yelena is trying to like is convincing the government to like give jobs to the Marleyans. Like, yeah, I think something else is going on here. And then we got that Aaron scene.
Oh
I
my
was
god.
waiting for this moment. We got it. And it was beautiful, beautifully animated. Props to the animators at Mappa. It it was amazing.
Definitely. Eren, as soon as he escapes from his prison, from his cell at least, he goes to the Jaegerists and he wants to get to Zeke.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the Jaegerists is like the group that Flock was in the last episode. So I think this is also a very valid question. Do you think that Eren is becoming a villain in this story?
I mean, that is a very hard question to answer. Everyone has their own perspectives, and in the end, they all want to do good, but in
True.
their own, sometimes twisted way.
Yeah.
So, if Eren wants to free Paradis, or he wants true freedom for Armin, he's willing to get his hands dirty.
Mm, okay. I can totally see that. Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, and we know that one of the themes in this story is the fact that it's not that nobody is wrong, but kind of like everybody has a valid point to be right in
It's
their
who
own.
is less wrong.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it goes to show the genius of Hajime Isayama. Props to him and his writing. I don't know, like I don't. It's a very hard question. I'll give it to you, but I don't know. He seems almost like his acts are becoming almost like villainous, if that makes any sense.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so since Premier Zachary died, now Pixies is going to be the new Premier, and he decides that in order to prevent bloodshed, he is willing to overlook Zachary's death in order to negotiate with this extremist group. I mean, I think it is a necessary feat that has to be made.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to side with a terrorist, or nobody wants to give what a terrorist wants. I mean, they're terrorists. They're, in other words, the villain, you could say.
right.
Usually, when you watch an anime, you say, hey, why didn't you just shoot the tires so that the villain didn't get away? But here, it is a very hard decision. I mean, most of us would not know what to do. I
Yeah,
honestly think Pixies is doing the correct thing, overlooking Zachary's death, because this is not just Paradis. This is not just the military or who's going to stay in power. It's the whole world that's at stake. Because if Eren
yeah,
sides gets to Zeke and gets Historia, the whole world is in danger.
yeah. If their intentions are, evil, right? And yeah, I'm not gonna say that this was the correct thing to do. I will say it was the smart thing to do because Pixie's what he's trying to do. It was to prevent bloodshed, and like he wanted. I mean, I guess it's what everybody wants in this story. They want to stop the cycle of blood spilling and fighting. So he wants to kind of like get ahead and negotiate Zeke's location to the Jaegerists to try to see if they can come to, I guess, a peaceful resolution. And
Yeah,
right,
because only 4 people know where Zeke's at.
well,
Levi, 30 soldiers, and 3 others that bring them supplies.
yeah, so like 34 people, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a very limited amount of people who know where Zeke is. And I guess the only thing that the scouts can do is, I guess, try to find out what are Aaron's intentions and what are Zeke's intentions. And that's exactly what Hanji and the scouts head out to do. Figure out mainly what Zeke's intentions truly are. And then we get that last and final reveal, that little cliffhanger for the next episode. We find out that the Marleyans have already infiltrated Paradise Island with Peak hiding behind a newspaper.
and it was just like John in the first episode of season 4.
Yes.
Oh my god, we just take a look back. The credits are rolling, and this man, he's reading the newspaper. He lowers it down, and we know it's John, and he just walks away.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many parallels. It's amazing. But overall, this episode is just building tension between Eren and I guess the rest of the scouts, kind of to figure out what is going on and what the plan is. But yeah, pretty amazing.
Yeah, so the next episode is episode 72, Children of the Forest. I'm excited.
I am super excited. I mean, we saw the little preview, and apparently we're gonna go to a restaurant. Like what happened in the last episode, when Kaya said, we were invited to eat at a restaurant. So I guess we'll see what happens next week. If you like this episode, don't forget to follow us on social media. Link is in the description. And like, share, subscribe, and if you're so kind, leave a review down below. That was it for our anime huddle. See you next time.